Hey everybody, welcome back to I Know a Guy. If you're new here, my name's Anthony. I'm a business profit advocate. On this show, we interview entrepreneurs, business owners, professionals, and people just doing cool things. For example, today we're meeting with Roberto Capodieci, a trailblazer in blockchain and decentralized technologies with over 3 decades of experience shaping the future of digital innovation. From pioneering blockchain solutions to hosting fintech and tech podcasts, Roberto brings a rare mix of technical expertise, engaging storytelling, and a passion for making complex topics accessible and fascinating for all audiences. How you doing today, Roberto?
And thank you for having me in your show.
Yeah, pleasure to have you. I know last time we spoke, you weren't feeling the best, so I'm glad to see you're doing a little bit better. I hope you keep feeling a little bit better. So,
Me too.
yeah, so where are you calling in from? Where are you located?
So I am in the tropical island of Bali in Indonesia because life is beautiful here. So why not staying here? So I live here since 20 years ago. Before I was in Florida, the United States, and I am Italian. So I passed the first 2 decades of my life in Italy pretty much. So.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, what do you like most about the tropical lifestyle? What do you recommend people do if they ever visit Indonesia?
So I love to go skiing and I love the dry, cold weather, but for a week, two maximum. For the rest of the year, I prefer to stay in a hot place. So that's why Florida before and now Bali. I think that life is easier. I think I love the fact that nature grows even if you don't want to, like it is fruit, very good fruits. So. Yeah, no, why not? It's nice, and people take it easy. It's a nice, slow lifestyle. And Bali is 2 hours and a half from Singapore, so it's just a small flight. And I am in one of the belly button of business for Southeast Asia, so it's good.
Well, here in Iowa, we're right in the winter, and I will be cursing your name when it's -40 with wind chill. And I'm like, I'm living here on purpose, and there's Bali's out there. I could go there, but I'm not. So, so
Take a
you
flight.
definitely, you're right. You're definitely onto something. So, awesome, awesome. So, what can you tell us about what you're doing? It sounds like, you got a lot of expertise, but, in your words.
Yeah, I followed this path since I was a little kid. I love technology of every sort, even mechanical technology, not only, like computer technology, but I followed this telecommunication and I end up to become an expert because I was at the right place in the right moment, not for other reasons, in decentralization, peer-to-peer network, and eventually that became also a blockchain. All strange terms that which means are network of computer that are not controlled by a single central point of failure.
Yeah, a lot of us are a little bit intimidated when we hear words like blockchain or decentralization. So decentralization, for example, it's often described as, the future of technology. Can you share how systems are reshaping, decentralized systems are reshaping industries and what opportunities they present for businesses?
Yeah, there are several aspects for which decentralization is important. If we think one nice example to understand the difference is the email system. When the email first came out, each office had their own mail server. And when you send an email from your office to somebody else, it was going from your computer to the mail server of your office, from the mail server of your office to the mail server of this other person's office, and then to their computer. And it was quite private because only the two mail server of the interest party will see the emails content, which isn't clear, right? Today, all the mail of the world goes through 4 or 5 providers. Gmail is Outlook, even through personalizing, domain names, but behind there is that. So it became centralized. So all the communication of the world are in a few hands, which is not a good thing. We should re-decentralize emails. And like this, many other aspects of the life online are going through central parties that do the verification. They decide if you can participate in that kind of, communication, trade or not, and so on. While it's important that each person has the freedom and the guarantee to be 100% autonomous in participating in something. So, in the moment that we need to rely on a third party for whatever service, this third party has the power to cut us off. Decentralizing the service, we cannot be cut off.
Yeah. I like that. I like being able to, kind of be in control of your own stuff, not rely on something else. So, you've been working with blockchain and decentralization systems since 2010. What initially sparked your interest in this technology, and how has it evolved since then?
Initially, I arrived to blockchain for other reason because I was trying to do a decentralized file system, like a big hard drive that was supported by many nodes on a peer-to-peer network. I was trying to change the approach that BitTorrent had in distributing files. And I arrived on blockchain. In blockchain, I understood something very important that uh, and this is the value of blockchain, because many people confuse blockchain with cryptos and other things. But blockchain is a technology behind the allow cryptos to exist, but it is not crypto, right? Blockchain in the moment that we're living digitally, so it's no more analog. We don't have something physical, but the asset, the commodities, the information. Blockchain allow to have a singularity, unicity in the digital world, which means that it's not a file. Like if I have an MP3, I can make 10 copy. We have 11 copies of the same file. You don't know which is the original anymore because the copy are one and zero are identical one to the other, right? But with blockchain, I can say this is the one that is the original and is owned by this person. And if I transfer it, the ownership change to somebody else. In fact, you think you cannot do copy and paste of a Bitcoin and give you the copy of the Bitcoin because Bitcoin will be worth zero the next day, right? And all this craze that has been around the NFTs, the fact that people paid a lot of money for some pixel that shows little monkey or whatever, is the fact that you can say, this piece of digital data is actually mine and I can actually sell it to somebody else. It's not a small thing. So the value that we have with blockchain is the fact that if you bring this to the daily life, it will be the unicity of a document. If I do a document and I sign it cryptographically, there is no doubt that that one is the document that I signed. There is no way to make a fake version of it, and is also time stamped in a precise moment in time. So it has a lot of value. So in bureaucracy, documentation flow, and many other things, in the moment that I can also evaluate the content of the documents to make it go ahead in its process. Blockchain is fantastic. There is no other instrument that could be put in place to solve a lot of bureaucratic procedures and other things, and removing also corruption or the ability that some people have to do things that should not be allowed to be done, right?
Yeah, definitely it tightens it up. You can't get away with nearly as much as you could with, weaponized incompetence, right? It's there. This is the thing. It's exactly what it is. So yeah, I really like that. So a thing you kind of alluded to, you're passionate about online scam prevention. I think everybody out there that spent any time on the internet knows, at least, kind of about the online scams and everything out there, whether it's, the Nigerian prince scam that's kind of a trope anymore, or, just the random pop-ups you get all the time. What are some of the most common scams that you're seeing people fall victim to, and what steps can, individuals and businesses take to protect themselves?
Yeah, one of the worst that is out there recently is what is called pig butchering. And it is a mix of romance scam with investment finance. So the scammer invests even a couple of months to become intimate, very attached, like a sort of love relationship with the victim, and then sort of convince the victim to invest money in a fake platform where the victim is going to lose all the money. This is in a very short version, is actually much more intricate and complex, but nonetheless damaging to the victim. I think one common trait of those scam is you see something. I give you some very interesting hint. When you receive the email of the prince that has $1 million to transfer, you can see there is a scam. It is clearly grammatically broken, not clearly. It's not because the scammer are not intelligent enough to write an email that is perfect. They do it in purpose because the people that has the brain to eventually understand is a scam are already eliminated. If somebody follow up to that, it means they are not intelligent enough to be able to fall for the whole scam. So it's already a filter, a pre-filter to select the right victims. That's why victims are always most people that need the help and support not to fall for the scam, and it's not people that will go around informing themselves about scams and so on.
Yeah, when you see an email saying that you owe PayPal or Amazon something, and then the email is a Gmail, you're like, well, probably not. But you're right. That eliminates you as you're not their target anyway. They're casting a
Right,
wide net.
correct. Exactly.
They're trying to catch those people that that they're not making the best decisions, or they can. Maybe they're on mental decline, or they're dealing with something, and it makes it all the more sad too, that those are the people being targeted.
Yeah,
Um,
correct.
so what's your
In fact,
favorite?
I'm all for scamming a large insurance, a large banks, and saying rather than a poor person that maybe later unalive themselves for the consequences of what happened to them is quite tragic.
Yeah, very, very much heartbreaking. And that's why I really like those YouTube videos where the guys will get a scammer on the phone and they just toy with them for
A waste of
hours
time
and
is
just waste their time, get them mad. It's like, oh no, couldn't feel any more sympathy for you. What is your favorite thing about what you're doing?
I mean, if what I do can impact people and have a positive effect on people is always a good thing, right? I think that that's the best way to go sleep, knowing that you contributed positively to society in a way.
Yeah, being able to add value, definitely for sure. So, who are the folks that you're most interested in helping? Who are some folks that are really good introductions that if they need help, you're the one that should be talking to them.
Well, for sure, people that in business needs something to connect several business together. If it is consortium of, I don't know, a supply chain or like franchises, etc., etc. They want to adopt a blockchain, maybe a private blockchain, or even hopping on top of a public blockchain as a system to coordinate something between all the parties. I know I'm very happy to help do an analysis of the the system to be implemented. That's my specialty. That's what I do.
Okay. So someone like me that's a little bit more of a layman, when I hear blockchain or decentralization, I understand the basics, it's more secure, it has its purpose. But somebody like yourself that's really in that world that understands that, where is it going? Where do you kind of expect that technology to be 10 years from now, where maybe a lot of us that are just trying to catch up don't even know?
I think that slowly is going to be behind a lot of services that we use. Starting from the gaming industry that has a very strong need to adopt this. When you hear Web 1, Web 2, Web 3, of this definition that are strange. If you think the evolution that we have of our life online was first there was the web, so you know surf between website. There is the hyperlink HTML, right? You link between a website and another. Then there is a Web 2 where you can start using services. And then where we are now and we're living this part is the fact that we have a different identity every different website we go. So we have a username and a password in a place. And they customize things for us or sell us a service for what we are with them. Then we go somewhere else, we have a different username and password, and we have a different identity built with these other people. Web3, thanks to blockchain, allow to have an identity that travel with me in website by website. For example, in the gaming industry, if my avatar has a green jacket and a golden sword, when I go to the next game, if it's compatible and recognize it, I'm gonna have a green jacket and a golden sword as well. So I can, or if I get hurt in a game and I go to the other, I'm gonna be hurt in the other game. So the paradigm is this: is to moving away from each party holding my identity and do what they want with it, with the fact that I have my own and I move it place to place. In terms of a practical life, and it's not gaming, if you think I can have attached to my identity thanks to a blockchain. Several things, for example, I'm allergic to something, I prefer this food rather than the other. I did these things for health check, etc., etc. Wherever I am, if I enter in the restaurant and I check in with my identity, I can disclose automatically what food I am allergic to, so they already know not to cook those things for me, and I don't need to repeat the same thing every time because it's there with my identity. So if I go to a dentist while I'm in holiday in a place, this dentist can see already all the procedures that I've done at the dentist back home, because it become my information. When people say you need to own and control your information, that's exactly what it means, right? So this travel with me, and I decide how and what to disclose to who, and this can be done thanks to a technology like a blockchain.
Okay. So it's kind of, I understand. Yeah, I like that. I can definitely see where that would go in the future. So what about power partners? Who are individuals or other industries maybe that you can collaborate really well with and you can kind of both work together?
Looking at the beautiful, successful project done in the past, the use and adoption of a blockchain to reach far on something. For example, the card for the warranty, sorry, no insurance, the warranty card and the ownership card of a piece of clothing that is expensive, done in blockchain. So if you are on the other side of the planet and your clothing has broken and you go to a tailor, they can access which is the correct material to use, the procedure to fix it, and they can add themselves the fact that they did an intervention in the piece of clothing. So you have a sort of audit history of the things that you have done. Another example, a company building pipes, putting QR code in the pipes and saving in the blockchain the specific of the one particular pipe, which is the diameter, the thickness, the materials, etc., etc. So some worker is doing construction and he finds the pipe that need to be replaced. He can find immediately exactly which is the pipe to order to replace the pipe. Other example were components. A company doing a laser component that goes from medical instrument to the X-ray in the custom, etc., etc. They have no ability to track where their parts goes around the world. So start putting a small QR code there attached to blockchain where people that do maintenance can add their own piece of information, like I fixed this part, blah blah blah. And these things work a lot. Or when there is documentation flows to be followed, the versioning of a document, for example, something very important in a company, you see, this is which is do I have the last version or not? Usually, the versioning system are limited to one single company, simple because there is a lot of privacy involved in it. With blockchain, you can have versionings of file that goes even in the public space outside, so people can add their comments on the documentation given like forms led by the government rather than other things. So there are a lot of interesting applications. So if somebody is working in one of these industry and recognize the possibility to do something particular beautiful and new with the adoption of blockchain, I'm here to discuss it.
Okay. What would you say, because a lot of folks are like me. I've heard about it, I know a bit about it, but I don't know a lot about it. What's the biggest misconception about blockchain technology?
The biggest misconception of blockchain technology is that the blockchain are cryptocurrency. It's the same thing. That's absolutely wrong. Blockchain is not cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency is one of the use cases that the blockchain enables.
Okay. Yeah, no, I can tell you for a long, long time, I thought they were the exact same thing. I heard blockchain, I thought crypto. Took me a while, but I finally got to the point where I now know it's not.
It's also
So,
true that because there is a lot of scam and other things in the world of cryptos, blockchain get the bad name, and it's just a piece of technology that has no way to be a bad thing or a good, you know what I mean?
yeah,
So it's a pity that many people stay far away. They're afraid to adopt the technology just because of this thing.
yeah, it's like if you don't like paying your taxes and you start blaming the calculator. It has nothing to do with it. I mean, it helps it, but it doesn't. Yeah. So okay, how can small businesses benefit from decentralization without needing a tech background?
Yeah, there are several application online, but we are still in a phase where it's better to have a little bit of tech knowledge. For sure, I will ask if I was somebody that see an opportunity, I will ask somebody that is a little bit tech savvy, at least in the field, to guide them because it's very easy, mostly if there are money involved. To fall for things that are not secure. Is early, but we are entering in that world, so it's the moment finally to actually implement. So don't jump, dive in without knowing what you're doing because it can be dangerous in a way.
Well, yeah, and that's true. If you're on the internet, you're exposed to a lot of people that might, want to take advantage of something. So what's one easy way to protect yourself from online scams in today's digital world?
Scams in general require people to act fast. They put rush on people. Like you have no time to decide. If you don't pay immediately, the police doesn't release your niece or nephew. Or it is immediate. If you don't do it now, you lose the opportunity. So when there is rush in doing something, always doubt. Never take a good something for somebody calls you, hang up, and you call back. There are constant attempts to scam every other day. Yesterday my wife, you as well, we stopped one people pretending to be the tax office, the IRS, of Indonesia.
Yeah.
Bad, bad.
I think that might be one of my favorite ones. I got a call and somebody said, I am with the IRS. We're going to do XYZ. And it was like, okay, what does the IRS stand for? And then crickets and crickets. And I'm like, okay, I thought so. Have a good one. So, no, absolutely. When somebody's trying to rush you through something, it's because they don't want you to take a good look. They don't want you to think at all. It's, I got to do it.
Correct.
So,
Correct.
perfect. Is there anything that I missed that you really wanted to add?
No, I think we had a very nice discussion. I think if there is feedback from the public that want to know more, I'm very happy to come back and answer a specific question that people may have. Yeah.
Oh, that'd be fantastic. Well, until then, how can people get a hold of you?
Oh, what it is here, the QR code behind my back here, or it's very simple. The short link for my website is rcx.it, and my LinkedIn is the classic linkedin.com/in rc10. So
Awesome.
those are the two way to reach me.
Okay, great. And I'll put those in the description so people don't have to hunt for it. So we'll make it as easy as possible. But perfect. I really appreciate that. Anybody considering talking with Roberto, do it. Absolutely do it. You're going to learn a lot. If you're anything like me, it's only up from here, so you can only learn more. He's obviously a wealth of knowledge and doing good things. Scam prevention, working on security, learning the technologies, what's coming down the line, because it's important to kind of stay in the know about this stuff where you're not being taken advantage of or you're not falling for things that should be common knowledge but maybe aren't. Maybe they're on the cutting edge. So trying to keep yourself informed is super important. But if you're a little bit more shy and you prefer an introduction, feel free, ask me. I'll be happy to introduce you as well. Other than that, if anybody out there would like to be interviewed, feel free. You can find my link tree in the description as well. Grab a time. I'd love to have a conversation. But other than that, Roberto, I really appreciate you coming on. I really enjoyed this conversation. I learned a lot. So I'm gonna have to go back
It's
through.
been a pleasure. Yes, it's beautiful. It's a nice idea. I like what you're doing, and this idea to connect people is fantastic.
Hey, anything I can do to bring value. So on that note, how about we all get out there, try and help some more people and meet some more folks. All right.